Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at lesson number 7, printer issues. So you've just purchased a new printer. You've connected it to your computer with a USB cable. Okay, we're not talking about Wi-Fi at this point. You've connected it with a USB cable and for some reason it doesn't seem to be working. So we're going to go into the Windows Start button. We're going to click on the Windows Start button and we're going to go into our settings. So our settings app is going to start up. And once that starts up, we're going to go into Devices, Bluetooth, Printers, Mouse. So click on that. And when that first opens up, it's going to list all the devices that are connected. So you can see I have a USB tablet, I have a microphone, I have this printer where it says driver unavailable, and I also have a monitor. So we're going to go over to Printers and Scanners. And again, we're going to see it listed. So we have an ET3600 series, but for some reason the driver is unavailable. And when I click on that printer and click Manage, it's not giving me any properties. It's saying it might be a scanner, there's scanner properties, might be an app, but it's not showing me everything it should. So I'm going to click on that back arrow. And then I've gone on to the internet and I've gone to Epson.com. So if you were using a Brother, you would go to the Brother website. An HP, you'd go to the HP website. So depending on the make and model of your printer. So I went on to Epson and I found my ET3600 and it's showing me downloads. It's automatically seeing the system that I'm using. And it's recommending what I need. So it's saying you need this drivers and utilities package installer. So I'm going to click on download. Now you can see they also have separate areas here, just the driver. That's what communicates. So you can print utilities or software that interfaces with it. But I'm going to take the whole package and I'm going to click on download. Okay, so it pops up and it says, what would you like to do with this? And I'm going to say save. And that's going to save it to my downloads folder. By default, that's where yours is going to save as well. Okay, so it says here that it has finished downloading. And what do I want to do? I'm going to say I want to run this file. Okay, so after I click run file, it's going to prompt me here. Do I want this app to allow me changes to my device? I'm going to click on yes because I want to install this driver in this software package. So this file contains an installer to obtain everything you need to use your Epson ET3600. I'm going to click OK. So you can see that that is extracting the files and then it's going to install everything for me. And again, on the left hand side, we're still getting this error message, driver is unavailable. Okay, so now you can see that it's coming up with the program that it's going to install. So welcome to Epson installer. This is the end user license agreement. You can read through that. You can click accept. What is it going to install? So it's going to install the drivers and the utilities. Allow Windows Firewall to unblock Epson's utilities. I'm going to say that's fine because otherwise you could run into some issues with it. The Epson's user guide link, if you would like the link for it. And the Epson customer research participation software. So I'm going to uncheck the research because I don't want to install that. And I know how to use the printer, so I'm going to uncheck that. But you can leave those checked and you can click install. Okay, so now the software is connecting to the server via the internet and it's going to download the necessary files for our printer. Now keep in mind that if you have a different brand of printer, this may look slightly different, but most of them again are going to have this installation package that is going to include the software and the driver, which is going to ensure that your printer prints properly. It's also going to make sure that every feature of your printer works properly. Okay, so you can see here that the software has installed. It's finished installing. And we can click on next to continue the setup, the actual setup of the printer. But you can also see on the left hand side that I'm not getting that error message anymore about the driver. So it's installed the driver. It now knows, Windows now knows that printer is installed and it's going to work correctly. So I can click on next. I can go through the remainder of the printer setup. So how have I got this printer set up? Direct USB connection, which is how I have it set up, and I can click on next. and follow the rest of the setup through. Okay, so connecting your printer. Printer was detected. So you can see on the left hand side, it's the blue bar is going. It's doing its finalization. And I can print a test page. So you can do that to make sure everything's working properly. You can click on next. It's now checking for a firmware update, and it's doing a product registration. So I've done all that already, but you can now see that this printer is set up properly. I'm not getting any error messages. I'm going to close that registration. And if I click on the printer and I say manage, you can now see that I have additional options here. Before I just had something that said scanner app, but now I can go in here and do my test page, troubleshoot, printer properties and preferences, and it's showing me the printer that I'm looking at. So guys, that's how to make sure that the printer that you have running with Windows 10 is going to run correctly. And again, you want to make sure that you go to the website of the printer manufacturer that you have, such as HP, Brother, Epson, whatever printer you have, and get the software and the drivers for your printer. Okay, if you have any questions at all about that, I know it sounds a little bit confusing, drop me an email at savvytechgirl@gmail.com. Again, thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.